I'm your host, Samantha Stone, and I'm excited to be here. We have so much happening in the city this fall. We're going to talk to a number of guests about all kinds of ways that you can get engaged. And before we do that, as always, I want to welcome Mayor Concannon. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Samantha. How's it going?
I'm doing well. We saw each other a little bit this weekend at some of the various things that were happening across the city.
Yeah, it was a busy weekend. Several things. One in particular on Saturday was the New Path Walk Oktoberfest, which was great. Before we went up there, we ran into each other downtown at the Tanner Tata's collection drive, which was great as well. And then on Sunday, we had the hospice walk. Saw a whole bunch of people down there. As a matter of fact, a couple of people on your show today were down there, Joe and Colleen and others. So yeah, another busy weekend in Woburn. A lot of people doing a lot of great things to help other people out.
Yeah, it was actually really rewarding to see everyone. And those who watch the show regularly know that I was treated for breast cancer over the last couple of years, and the Tanner Tatas were really supportive of me. So it was my pleasure to be able to go down on Saturday and help collect some funds to help others in the community. And all these great causes were amazing. It was so gratifying to see how many people in Woburn really care. There's some big numbers at some of these events.
Yes, really yes, very successful.
Excellent. So Halloween is a Thursday this year, and you know what that means.
I do know what that means. As people in Woburn know, Thursday night is our late night here at City Hall. We stay open late on Thursdays for the convenience of the public and then close early on Friday afternoon. So with the 31st being a Thursday, we're here till 7, and we want to take advantage of the holiday by offering a little bit of fun, trick-or-treating through City Hall. And I appreciate you stepping up to coordinate all this. And it sounds like it's going to be a fun night, a chance for people to bring their kids through City Hall and get a treat or two. And, you know, a nice thing for the city employees to do as well.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. For some of the little bit older kids, maybe it's pre-gaming before they're full trick-or-treating out. For some of the littles, maybe this is a nice contained way to do it. But yep. We'll be here from 4:30 to 5:30, and it's going to be a good time. So many of the folks in City Hall and in city government are really actually excited to welcome guests. So yep. We hope a lot of people come by.
We know how proud Rich Jamie is of his large pumpkin in the rotunda, so it's a chance for him to show it off to everybody. It's his pride and joy each fall. It looks great, so be nice to see all the kids come through.
Absolutely, I think they'll get a smile out of it. So we look forward to a couple other little surprises here and there. So it'll be good. You know, one of the things I know you spend a morning a week over at the schools with Matt Crowley, really learning about what's happening and staying connected to the community that way. And a few people have been calling in about redistricting. Now, we know the school committee will be communicating in great detail about that as things progress. But from your point of view, just a lot of people have been asking what might be happening. Thought I'd give you a chance to see if you and Matt have talked all about it.
Yeah, we do. We talk quite frequently. And as you said, we go on a tour of a different school each Friday morning. Usually have a special guest or two join us. Last week, we had Chuck Viola, Councilor from Ward 7, joined us at the Reeves. Prior to that, we had Councilor at Large Bob Ferrullo join us at the Harold Wyman. I know one of your guests, Joe Demers from Ward 4, he's going to try to join us at one of the upcoming trips. So yeah, it's a chance for us to get out and about into the schools and interact with the kids and the teachers and the staff and get a first-hand look at what's happening and, of course, a level of comfort on how our money is being spent. I think that's important to the council, and it's certainly important to me. So we do that every Friday morning. It's pretty one of the highlights of the week, actually. It's really fun to see all the kids. And as we do tour the buildings, we talk about the issues in the schools and within the school department. And of course, one of those is the continuation of the discussion regarding redistricting in our schools. School committee dug pretty deep into that this past spring. They had a very robust discussion and deliberation on that topic. And I think the consensus on the committee was that they would like a little bit more time to dig a little bit deeper and better understand all the ramifications. So they agreed to pick that discussion up this fall. And looking at the the agenda for Wednesday night school committee meeting. There is an update item on redistricting, and Matt has told me they intend to begin that process again pretty quickly. So he'll give that update Wednesday night, let the committee know where the status is on that issue. And I expect the topic to come up again hot and heavy in the next several months. And, we're looking forward to working with the school committee to do everything we can to make sure that we're utilizing all of the taxpayers' funds as efficiently as we can, as effectively as we can. But of course, I understand the school committee's desire to gather as much input as they can, not only from a data standpoint, but from a human standpoint, from all the parents, the staff, all those impacted, so they can make the very best decision.
And just for those who are listening, I think that the school committee meeting might be on Tuesday night, so just make sure.
Oh, is it Tuesday?
Folks, check the calendar to make sure. There's always a meeting going on, so it's hard to keep track of them. But
yes, you're right. Tuesday night, October 8th at 7 p.m. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you for that. One of the things is we've been rolling out the recycling program, and we've talked a lot about that over the course of the last few weeks. But one thing that people were really giving us a lot of feedback on is that they wanted a place to recycle their old bins. So we will be doing curbside pickup, but for some folks who really wanted to be conscious about what happens to them next, but didn't have their own repurpose for them, we've been able to set up an event to help out that way.
Yeah. So the idea is that if there's a way for them to repurpose those items in their house, maybe it's out in the garden or storage in the basement or something, that's fine. Always great to see them put to use. If they've been beat up over the years and maybe they're just not in great shape, and at this point their best use is trash, then so be it. But for those who are interested in seeing these particular plastic bins and maybe some other bins they've picked up along the way, recycled, we felt it was important to offer at least that option. So we have our biannual, I think it is, Shred It event, where we offer an opportunity for residents to bring all their confidential paperwork down to City Hall, the parking lot, and shred those documents. We'll also offer the opportunity for them to bring their old recycled buckets, and we'll specifically call them out and make sure they get recycled. So this date is Saturday morning, October 26th. It's from 9 to 1 in the parking lot at City Hall, where we do the shredded event. There'll be 2 stations, essentially. There'll be the shredded station and then the recycling station. We would just ask that people confirm that the item that they'd like to recycle is actually in the category of recyclable. We know that the blue bins that we give out are, and probably more than likely most of the other items they may have purchased along the way at Lowe's or Home Depot, they're probably recyclable too. But I know there's a number on the bottom of the bins that indicates whether it is or is not recyclable. So if they can do that ahead of time and then bring down what is recyclable, we'll take care of it for them.
That's excellent. Thank you. And I appreciate Waste Management's support with us and setting this up so that we can meet the needs of the community. So I appreciate all of that. We have a senior appreciation dinner coming up, and I know we've given out hundreds of tickets, but there still are some more. So I wanted to let people know before we run out of them, to remind them where they can get them.
Yeah, so those tickets are available here at the mayor's office or at the senior center in North Woburn. We're very happy and excited to bring this event back indoors to a sit-down meal. It'll be at the high school on Sunday, November 3rd. Because of COVID, over the last several years, we've had to do a grab-and-go option, which was still nice, and it was good to see people as they drove through and picked up their dinners. And it was the best we could do given the circumstances. But we feel it's the right time to come back inside. And it just brings it back to the true spirit of the event, where everyone's sitting down, enjoying a meal together, a little bit of entertainment, maybe a couple of surprises and prizes. And I think we're well on our way to giving out the sufficient number of tickets. But I do think there's probably maybe 150 or so or more still available. So we'd like to have people come and get those as soon as possible so they don't miss out. It's a big event. I know a lot of people look forward to it, and we'd hate to have someone called us the last week when there weren't any tickets left. So if you are interested in coming on Sunday, November 3rd, please come pick up your tickets here in the mayor's office or at the senior center.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's going to be a fun night. I know the team's working hard to plan that. Last thing I wanted to mention and talk about is, so at the last city council meeting, there was a lot of public support for fire stations that desperately needed work. So there are 2 stations that were funded. Now, what happens next is the question a lot of people is, the vote was made, we're going to proceed forward, and people want to know, where do we go from here?
Yeah, so my sincere gratitude to the members of the city council for their support in approving this authorization, a bond bill for $30 million to ensure that we have 2 brand new stations, 1 and 4 in East Woburn, 1 and 5 on the west side. And we'll also continue with our efforts to rehab Station 1, the newer of the stations, down in the south end. So again, thank you to the city council for their support. Much appreciated. The next steps would be to create what I would call the Fire Station Building Committee. It's a model we've used in the past when we built schools and when we built the new fire headquarters, representatives of the city, the fire department. That committee would be stood up pretty quickly and then run us all the way through the process to close out, to make sure that everything is on track, make sure the plans represent what it is we need. Any issues that come up along the way, they get dealt with. So that is the next step. I met with the fire chief this morning. We'll be reaching out to our consultants shortly, and then we'll begin the process of staffing and meeting as part of that Fire Station Building Committee. Really excited about this. It is it's much needed, and it's going to go a long way towards providing the service that the residents of Woburn need. And again, my sincere appreciation to the city council for their support.
Thank you so much for joining us. Next up, I actually have Lieutenant Smith from the Fire Safety and Fire Prevention Team. Is it Fire Prevention Team? I'm saying it. He'll correct me. I'm getting it wrong. But all the good things fire related. So we're going to talk about a fun event that's happening. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really glad. There is a fun fire safety event that's coming up. I remember going to something like this, although not in the new headquarters location when my kids were little. Tell us about what's going to be happening that day.
So October 19th, we have our fire open house for all the residents of Woburn and anyone else who wants to come. October is Fire Prevention Month, so it's a very busy month for us. Myself, Inspector Parise, Rosa, the admin, and even the chief's admin has to give us a hand this time of year because we're pretty busy. All the schools, fire, safety, education. So, but it's also a fun time of year for us because we get to see everybody. I was at 3 different daycares this morning. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the kids love it. They get their helmets and see the trucks. So it's pretty rewarding for us. So October 19th, we have our open house. This will be the 2nd year at the new station. It was a big hit last year. And we're going to have activities, food, refreshments, snacks, all for the public. It's really great because they get to come down and kind of see the inner workings. I mean, a lot of times you see us driving up and down the street with the lights and sirens, and it's like, oh, where are they going? But this, you get to come in the station, see all the trucks. We'll have the boat up, more of our boats out. We'll have the H6 truck, which is a specialty truck that we got a couple of years ago to use with the new station. The towers there set up, all the engines. We have activities for the kids. Like I said, Janella Rosa put a lot of work into making, goodie bags for everybody. We got a couple great places that donated food. They're very nice to donate foods. I know everyone always likes that. So
free food was not.
There is free food. I'm going to keep it a secret what it is, but it's places that everybody likes. And then usually we do a demonstration when we get to use the jaws of life and cut up a car, start to finish.
Nice.
See the guys in action, and it also doubles as training for our members, so they get to do some training. The public gets to see it. It's really kind of cool to see up close, like the work that they do. So we love it. It's going to be from 10 to 1 on Saturday the 19th. Everybody's welcome, rain or shine. Keep our fingers crossed for good weather. But it's always a good event. We always have a great turnout, and we enjoy it.
I love that, and that sounds like a really fun demonstration. Actually, it's a lot of hard work goes into all the ways that we help the community. So thank you for hosting that. That's awesome. One of the things I think is really important is this is fun, and this is a great way for kids to learn, but we also want them to learn things while they're there. What are some of the things you hope they'll experience and take away?
So there is the number of things we hand out, safety books, kitchen safety, all the standard stuff. We also have our smokehouse, which is a large trailer that's designed like a home on the inside. We fill it up with a fake smoke. It's safe. There's no actual smoke. It's actually a sugary mixture but it works really well. And the kids can practice safely evacuating their homes in case of an emergency. And the firefighters that run it also talk to them about safety in the home, smoke detectors, proper use, what to do in the case of an emergency, planning, having 2 ways out, talking to whoever you live with at home, and having a meeting spot. So they'll go over all that and then do the demonstration. You have to come out. So between what we hand out, talking to the people, the smokehouse demonstration, we really hope that everyone takes something away from it.
I think that's great. You know, when my kids were little, there was a tree that was in our neighbor's yard, and that was our meeting spot, should there ever need. Luckily, we never needed it, but we talked lots of. And when our neighbor cut down the tree, the kids were like, "But they can't! It's our fire meeting spot." So we picked another one. Everyone was okay, but those kinds of things and doing it when there isn't an emergency is really critical and important. So having these kinds of practice environments that are completely safe. Just take the scary away, but to help people get into the routine and the practice of it is fantastic. Thank you all for doing that. Yeah.
Absolutely. We bring it around to the schools also during this time of year. A lot of school visits, preschool visits, everything we can do to get out there. It's a busy time of year, but it's a fun time. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us.
Samantha. Thank you for having me very much. Thank you, everyone. I hope we'll see you the 19th.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. It's always great to see all the ways our fire department is giving back to our community, and really the training and practice that you talked about, along with a lot of fun that's going to happen that day, is really a nice time. I hope people will be able to go out and enjoy it. Next up, Colleen Cormier, welcome. Glad to have you today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So today you're wearing your Woburn Community Education Fund hat. And we're going to talk about a gala that's coming up. I love the word gala. It just like makes me want to dress up and eat great food and drink some wine. Tell us about the night.
Yep. So coming up on November 9th, it's Saturday. This will be our second annual Gourmet Gala for the Education Foundation. And it is they said a 4-course, but there is dessert too. So I guess that's the finale. That's the 5th course to me. But anyway, a lot of food, wine pairings are included. And we have a silent and live auction. We have a lot of great sponsors for the event, and also a lot of great, items for the auction, Celtics tickets, personal training sessions, various baskets of wine or alcohol, or everybody likes the scratch tickets. So those are in there too. Sports memorabilia. So a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. My mouth is sort of watering. I'm getting a little hungry. It's the end of the day. Talking about dinner and gourmet dinners is making my stomach grumble in all the best ways. Where can people purchase tickets for this event?
So they just have to go to our website, woburnedfoundation.org. And if you click under the Gourmet Gala, it'll take you a link right there to purchase.
Perfect. Now, many of us are familiar with the really important work that the Ed Foundation does, but for those who might not be familiar, tell them a little bit of where the proceeds from the dinner go.
So the Ed Foundation has been active for 10 years now. And over that time, we have given hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants for educators in Woburn. We do a book program for the kindergartners, every kindergartner in Woburn. And over the last year, it was like $70,000 that was given out. And, it goes to all the schools. All 10 schools are able to apply, for the grant. And it's things that are outside the regular budget. And there are some great programs like the Lexia program, which is done through a grant from the Cummings Foundation that the Ed Foundation secured. We've been doing that, I think, like 5 years now. For the schools, and I've only heard great things about that.
My kids loved the Lexia program when it was. For those who don't have children in the school system or haven't been familiar with it, it's a learning software program, but it's really well motivating for kids. There's lots of sort of gaming thoughts and ideas that go into it to make kids really want to keep learning. And my kids particularly like the math programs that were in there. They kind of whiz through them. Now, I know we're here to talk about the Ed Foundation, but I have to ask, it looks like you have a special little pendant on today. Is that the library pendant?
I do. As a matter of fact, you know, and I don't know where the rest of them ended up, but when we brought the friends back, there were a few of these in the archives there in our stuff that we inherited. So we did give one away. One was raffled off at the recent book sale. But this one, I said, you know, as the chair of the Friends, I am going to purchase this item. So I do have a receipt for it. But they've got to be out there. I don't know where they are. I've never seen one. And so whoever has them, I want to see pictures. I want to see, I guess they had a gala and they were maybe give it away. There was pins too. So yes, I wear my library proudly.
You wear it proudly. It looks very nice. Thank you for joining us and for the really important work that's happening in the Ed Foundation. And for those who want a night out without littles or just maybe a date night with a favorite couple friend, it's a nice evening, good food, good cause, and a great way to support our teachers and the hard work that they do.
Yeah, and I know that the Rotary has an event that night down the street at the Legion. So you know, come see us for dinner first and then wrap the night up down there. I think that's a great plan. I think the mayor's, that's how his itinerary looks, so.
Yes, there's all kinds of great things happening. Thanks so much, Colleen. Appreciate your time today. Next up, I want to welcome City Councilor for Ward 4, Joe Demers.
How are we doing?
Good, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I saw you on Sunday at the Step Out for Hospice walk. It looked like you were ready to get going. Did you do the walk or run or?
I did the walk. I definitely wasn't going to be running. My running did well past me.
Well, hey, that counts. That counts big time. I appreciate it. Do you have a special connection to the hospice organization?
I was there in support of Team Laney Allen. I grew up with the Allen sisters. There's 3 of them. They've been great friends to my family and my sister. We were there in support of her mom, who was tragically lost years ago. But Team Laney Allen's been participating in that cause for almost 20 years now. So I've been a strong supporter of that team, but also in memory of my mom, who we lost to brain cancer almost a little bit more than 12 years ago. So it's just to support the cause, because hospice care is a very, very important care out there. And when families are going through those really tough moments, having that support and tender care for the families and those patients in their time of need is really important for the community.
I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. It is really important. We recently lost my mother-in-law, and she was in a nursing home, so it wasn't exactly the home hospice environment, but what, you know, a gift the hospice nurses are to the one who is passing, but also to the family. They're an incredibly gifted, talented, empathetic group of people who makes a difficult time that much easier.
Yeah, my sister's a nurse practitioner, and she has worked in that field of care as well. So it's her way of giving back as well. So our family's been very committed to the cause. Excellent.
I want to switch gears a little bit, not a little bit, a lot, completely switch gears, actually, like totally unrelated to what we were just talking about, but equally important. So the dome site is something that will be on committee meeting. There's been a lot of discussion in the community about what the building will look like, how it will fit into our community. I think no one disagrees that something needs to happen. It's been an abandoned site it looks like one for quite some time. Right. And I know we're going to talk about it in depth during the committee meeting, but the developer is going to be showing some new designs. What is it that you hope to see while we're together?
Well, I think some folks interpreted the fact that the city council was very positive of there actually being some sort of development with the site, as that we were ready to rubber stamp the proposal that came before us. And that's couldn't be further from the case. I've been actively working with the petitioner to find a more representative design for the structure so that it protects the character of downtown. I think the design that was initially proposed was a little too modern for Woburn, but we've moved forward with that. I'm anxious to see the rollout of those plans this evening at our special permits committee meeting and listen to the concerns that the residents have. I've been following along on various postings on the Woburn residents page and several other pages, just to get an idea of, you know, concerns. And I mean, the great part is, you know, we have this great opportunity now where if redevelopment comes to downtown, it's going to be able to make downtown much more vibrant, much more accessible to folks, including the residents, if there's going to be residences above these redevelopments. And I know one good thing that has come from this as well is any project there, if it were to move forward, it's going to be for sale. The units will be for sale. So that ties in at ownership too, of those residents to that building. So that's the upkeep we also want to see for any types of redevelopment downtown. But there's also the concerns and the important need to balance that out, to make sure that the quality of life of the residents is preserved. We support our local downtown businesses, and then it doesn't impact our community negatively. And that's the balance that I've tried to follow as a city councilor for Ward 4 and on other projects across the city. And I look forward to rolling up our sleeves and finding some common ground.
Thank you. You know, I actually have really enjoyed watching this process unfold because it's exactly what the process is supposed to look like. Somebody comes with an idea, they present it, we provide feedback, the public hearings open, people share their thoughts and feedback. We go, you know, the city council is now has a point of view from the community to represent, and you know, all these things happen in the balance, the hard work that city councilors do to balance all the different various needs is about to be, you know, wrapping up and moving forward now. And that's really rewarding.
I think it's very important that everybody feels that everyone who comes before any board within the city has a fair hearing and has an ample opportunity to, you know, let us know what they want to do and have concerns come about and have an open hearing so that, you know, that everybody may not agree with it, but we can work towards together to make a good project on that site that benefits the downtown area and removes, frankly, what's been a blighted site for quite some time.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we want to make sure that we are a community that works with developers and with people who are investing in us, and has open opportunities for feedback on all sides. So I'm grateful to the city council for facilitating those processes. And for those who are interested in attending the public hearing, in addition to the committee meeting, that's happening on the 15th, I believe, correct?
That is correct.
Great, excellent. You mentioned the downtown project overall. I think lots of us are super excited. It feels a little far away, I know, to the final product, but you know, working on downtown safety is really important, and we have a tremendous opportunity that we've been given with the state support for us and the Department of Transportation and all the things that are going to be coming to us. What's your thoughts and ideas about how we make sure to maximize that opportunity?
I know. I think everybody who's has been involved in the process so far is very excited. We get this unique opportunity where a downtown project has actually been placed on the State Transportation Improvement Program before we've even gotten to the design phase. And that was the state recognizing and the MassDOT recognizing how important it would be to the community to increase safety, to increase efficiency and traffic flow in our downtown. And basically, we almost have a blank slate when it comes to the roadways and trying to figure out what better suits Woburn for safety, what can drive economic development, and then also what can increase efficiencies in traffic. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to the study that we have going on right now with that same consultant to look at our parking in downtown Woburn. I know it'd be important to see what our inventory of public parking spaces is downtown. So moving forward, we can more strategically plan and then look forward to any, increased parking opportunities that we might have in the future. I think that's vital to the interest of downtown, to the taxpayers, and also to the businesses to keep them going and reinvigorating our downtown area.
Yeah, excellent. I totally agree with you. Sitting at City Hall, we certainly hear what happens in the traffic circle every day. But on Saturday, I was standing down watching traffic as we were supporting the fundraiser. And not only did I see the honking and the people trying to rush across, in a whole different way than just hearing it. And it's a really healthy reminder. There's tremendous opportunity to improve access and to make it a more welcoming and safe place for pedestrians, bikes, and cars, frankly, right? There's a lot of, unfortunately, too many accidents that have happened in that area.
Definitely. And I usually say it's either somebody has gotten a car accident there or somebody knows somebody who's gotten a car accident, especially at that Wynn Street intersection. So I think making that safer for both motorists and pedestrians, I think will go a great way in the right direction.
Anything else you want to share with us?
No, I'm just looking forward. My ward's very busy. We do have the disposition of the Wyman School coming up, so I'm looking forward to holding a neighborhood meeting, probably at the library, sometime before the holidays, so that we can really discuss that and see really what the neighbors' input is with regards to how they want to see any type of move forward with that site. And I know, having spoken with the mayor, he shares my goal of getting as much input as we can to make sure that the voices of the constituents are heard and that nothing is done that would negatively impact the quality of life of the neighborhood up at the Wyman School. So I'm looking forward to engaging with the public on that and then hopefully getting feedback so that we can move a proposal forward.
Excellent. I am looking forward to that as well. It's a great opportunity for us to look at how we want to use that space and that land.
Definitely. In the public, it's really important.
Thank you so much for joining us and making
Oh,
the
thank
time
you,
to
Samantha,
catch
for
up.
having me. I appreciate it.
Excellent. And we're going to wrap up the show today talking about music. Pat and Carolyn, welcome.
How are you?
Hi.
Excellent. I'm so glad you're both joining us. Porchfest is always a lot of fun. I definitely, for many years, envied other communities that had one and watched from afar, and as my friends posted pictures. Carolyn, tell us a little bit about how we got started here in Woburn.
Well, it was very interesting. Two of us had decided that we wanted a grant and we wanted to find out if we could do Woburn Porchfest. And one person got it and one didn't, but we all got together anyway and decided that it would be a great idea. And that's how it all started. I also have always loved going to Porchfest, so it was great to bring it to the community.
I love that. Pat, tell us a little bit about this year's lineup.
Oh, so we've grown a little bit since last year. Last year, I think we had about 8 places participating. This year we have 17. And couple notable places are like, well, the Fox Den is doing something at Pocket Park. So you'll be able to order, I think they're going to do some food and maybe some beverages. And they have a great lineup over there. And there's just great little pockets of music happening throughout the city.
It's going to be super fun. I love it. All different kinds of music, all different kinds of talent. We're really lucky to do that. Can you remind us of where residents can find the schedule for the day and the day this is all happening?
It's all on WoburnPorchfest.com.
Excellent. We can even remember that. That's like an easy one for us to not mess up. I'm impressed that Woburn Porchfest is available URL. I always love when that works out.
Absolutely.
That's great. Is there anything else that you think residents should know as they prepare to go out there and have a blast that day?
Carolyn,
they probably should know what day it is. It's Saturday, October 12th, and it does run from 12 to 7. But if they look at the schedule, it depends on who they want to see. They can just see a lot of people throughout the day. They can hang out a little bit in one place or another. There will also be T-shirts that will be available for sale to benefit next year, so that we can continue to provide music for the community.
I love it. And if someone hasn't participated in this before and hasn't gone out and checked out the bands or been to another community, Pat, what do you advise people bring with them as they're traveling around, getting ready to listen to some good tunes?
Bring a chair, or one chair for each person. Just also be aware of your surroundings. Some places are kind of standing room only, so we don't want to be blocking any roadways or sidewalks. And bring snacks for your family, and just pay attention to every host is gonna have kind of a set of rules. Only go where is allowed, and just really, we encourage people to get out there and meet some new neighbors, enjoy some music. What's better than a beautiful Saturday afternoon with live music right in your neighborhood? There's nothing better than that.
It's really such a great way to meet people. And I will just add, I encourage everybody who's watching to go out and do this, but also to cheer very loudly.
Yes.
And give those performers, the accolades that they deserve. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, in many cases, you'll hear music maybe that you recognize and you can dance to and enjoy. Sometimes you might learn, hear some new music you never heard before, and both are great experiences.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. So check it out on the WoburnPorchfest.com.
Excellent. Carolyn and Pat, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
You're
Carolyn,
welcome.
did you
Thank
have something you wanted to add?
We just wanted to thank our sponsors because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to put it on this year. And hopefully we'll get a grant next year. But it's the After School Club, Toro Construction, the Fox Den, U-Turn Audio, Pat's Photography, and Two Bald Todd's Podcast.
And say, Pat, I can't wait to see your pictures of the day. I bet you there's going to be some good ones.
Oh, I will be playing music, so I will not be taking.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That sounds great too. Thank you both for joining us. And
Sure.
Woburn, as always, please continue to take good care of each other.